but I just wanted to take a minute to, I can't make it to any of your meetings because our B meetings are always on Wednesdays as well, but I wanted to take an opportunity to thank Mr. Kempers for all the work he does in the village and throughout the township to support the schools, and Joanne, what a great job, all the events we go to and all the things we do. I appreciate all that. Um, Specifically wanted to thank Chief so far halfway through the year. The details have been amazing. I mean, I don't think people realize how many actual details we do afterwards, and then all the police that are in there, Billy, of course, Jeff Lewis, and Jairus, Nick, yeah, do a great job, and K9's been great. We appreciate everything. Safety's our top priority. One phone call to chief. I got 20 police officers over there all the time. And Mark and I have been working a lot on the safe routes to schools, which is going to be a huge impact. And again, just want to thank the township for such a great partnership and all you guys do for the schools. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for you too. You guys do a great job. I'd like to make a motion to approve the previous minutes, 11/6/24, and the special meeting, 12/4/24.
Second.
Roll call vote, Mr. Ongaro.
Yes.
Mrs. Wallet.
Yes.
Mr. Kempers.
Yes.
Make a motion to authorize payments for all outstanding bills for the township.
Second.
Motion is second. Roll call, Mr. Ongaro.
Yes.
Mrs. Wallet.
Yes.
Mr. Kempers.
Yes.
And these are just a couple housekeepings. Make a motion for resolution 2430, which is the 2024 final appropriations.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Ongaro.
Yes.
Mrs. Wallet.
Yes.
Mr. Kempers.
Yes.
Make a motion for resolution 2431, which is the 90-day appropriations.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Ongaro.
Yes.
Mrs. Wallet.
Yes.
Mr. Kempers.
Yes.
Make a motion for resolution 2432. This is our resolution adopting the 24 through 28 Mahoney County Hazard Mitigation Plan.
Second.
Roll call vote, Mr. Ongaro.
Yes.
Mrs. Wallet. Mr. Kempers.
Yes.
No guests. Everybody who's here spoke. Public hearing, no public hearing. Financial report, Mr. Canner.
All right, through November, we have our revenues were 233,562.55, 55, and we spent $262,321.46. Our year-to-date expenditures so far are $5,072,448.54, and our year-to-date revenue is $4,784,758.42. We currently have encumbrances of $753,000 and an unencumbered balance of $1.3 million. So those will close at the end of the year, and they'll all go into the unencumbered balance. Then that's what the final appropriations and stuff we did tonight. So
Anything from Mr. Canner?
Thank you.
I'd like to sadly accept the resignation of Mrs. Mary Bartos, who's been our janitorial service here for as long as I can remember, effective January 1, 2025.
Second.
Roll call vote, Mr. Ongaro.
Yes.
Mrs. Wallet.
Yes.
Mr. Kempers.
Yes. Good lady.
So
Super
nice.
nice.
She's been a pillar here, that's for sure, and she'll be sadly missed, her and her mom. I'd like to make a motion to approve the use of Morningstar Cleaning for the cleaning services at the Pullman Township Government Building at a rate of $250 per week, pending security training, background checks, and appropriate documentations.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Ongaro.
Yes.
Mrs. Wallet.
Yes.
Mr. Kempers.
Yes.
Tommy, this is something you and Mark, you've been discussing. I mean, I know we're all abreast to it, but just you want to talk a little bit about the construction permit process? Anything that, I know something came up down there in Polos, is that correct?
Well, it kind of spurred, so we tidied this up and we all met together. And so we developed this draft. What we'd have to do is, because the original permit has a resolution as the guiding force, so we'll have to run this through legal. So this is just a draft at this time. But we thought township-wide construction, like the cable companies coming through, we would use that the resolution 2418 that we did in June. And then for small projects like road cuts or just singular projects, we were going to use this permit process. And it would still require a certificate of liability up to $1 million, and then a bond dictated by what the job is. And from that point, we give the contact information to the applicant and to contact Tom. Tom would set up a schedule for inspection. And then once the inspection's taken place, then notify the zoning, and then zoning could release the bond. Now, one thing we wanted to do is we wanted to extend the bond. We wanted to hold it for 180 days. I think it was 90 before, because, chance for the road to settle, that kind of thing. So if you're in agreement, I'll move forward with legal on this and.
Quick question. So what
We
are,
just
what are,
changed some language.
Okay, that's what I was gonna
Actual-
say. What's the
actual
difference? It sounds
bonding
familiar.
stuff. We just changed some wording around.
Okay.
So,
everybody's comfortable?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the higher bond. I like
Okay.
to make sure there's an inspection done.
So we don't really need a motion, but we just a blessing that.
Yeah, we just wanted to
Okay.
talk, just to bless and move forward with legal.
Yeah.
I'll forward it to legal, and
Okay.
then we'll be able to move forward.
Okay, so there you go. So then we have the Mahoney County Security Agreement for plan reviews and inspections.
And so what this is the Mahoney County has decided that they're getting overwhelmed with their cable requests and to read all the plans and so forth. So what they're doing is they're requesting a $25,000 bond be put in place to hire outside engineers to look at the drawings. And just wondering if that's something we could do, because that was a problem we had when we looked at that resolution. We're going to get these plans. Now, who do we have read them and go over them and analyze them? So if you think it's a good idea as a board, if the board thinks we should go ahead with this, I'll work again with legal to draft something for Poland Township, utilizing the standards set by the county.
And I did talk to Janetti, and they have a pool of some guys that they would recommend, correct?
Yes,
Because he said they have a group of people that they would use. And I know we were talking a little bit about consortium. With the more townships that get involved with this, I think they get a better rate. So to go with legal, but I would definitely stay in touch with Pat, because I mean, they're doing this already.
yeah,
So,
they're doing it now.
and we have a great relationship with them, so we should, have not a hard time there. So everybody good there?
All good?
Okay. I'll move
Okay, so
forward.
they're in touch with legal and Mr. Janetti, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
So, and I know, Tommy, you brought this up. Is there anything you added, deleted from the Lowville Cemetery rules and regulations?
well, I think we just changed the dates around,
Okay.
getting wreaths out and stuff.
Okay.
So everybody's good.
So we could actually put up a sign in the cemetery saying we want everything out. Then I think he's gonna print something up or put it on the website.
So people know.
So, yeah, so we can,
We don't need it for the one on Struthers Road?
that no one puts
No one
up
goes
any decorations. It's there.
Gold.
It's just for Lowville Cemetery.
Okay. All
You
right.
see that.
That's the only
You see that in most cemeteries.
Yeah,
So, yeah, we need it.
because,
Okay.
I mean, it's been a long time coming. We need to do something, because sometimes we feel bad, we pull them and we stack them up, wait for people.
Come
So
and get
it's
them.
like, all right, now we have rules. So if you want it out of there, get it out. If not, it goes in the trash.
Okay. Thank you. Park Committee?
This month's report, the winterization of the park is all done. The water lines have been shut off. Picnic tables have been stacked, grills have been covered, and the nets from the would-be pickleball, volleyball nets have been removed and stored. Our park trees, Christmas tree and telephone poles were decorated with holiday decorations this year. Recycling, we have signage up and ready for all the holiday recycled Christmas trees we dropped off at the park. Sled riding, the signage, the park benches, kindling, firewood has been put in place and ready to go. All we need now is some snow. The wildlife station, we began feeding the birds here at the beginning of the month. We have cleaned and painted the wildlife station. We will be doing a survey every week of what birds are visiting the station, and we'll be taking part in the Audubon Christmas bird count. AED installation, we did receive a, estimate from RLM Electric. We did receive 4 different, estimates for security cameras at the park, the revamp of that area there. In talks with the chief, it's been, we feel that, and I agree with the chief, completely, that we need another small building or something on, in the park there would be a park office and things, to put the cameras in there because of the, and there's sheds that we have now, they're not climate controlled. The heat, get up over 100 degrees in the sheds, and then in wintertime, it's below zero, possibly below zero. And plus, we saw our equipment in there, and the dust and dirt would affect the electronic equipment. So, right now, we do have those estimates there, but we would have to hold off in case you decide to use a separate building out there at the park, and we would transfer all those camera equipment there and do it in that situation. Memorial bench, David Lutz's memorial bench is here. We'll have a dedication sometime this spring for his bench there. And that's, and one other, park board would like to wish all the township residents a happy holiday and successful new year.
Did you get your lunch? Did you stop in?
Oh, I sure did.
All right,
Absolutely.
thanks. I wanted to make sure. All right, anything for Mr. Blicky?
Just again, thank you.
Yep.
Wonderful year.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate everything you do.
The same, thank you.
Thank you, sir. So under recycling, we just have, Mr. Cavell, the recycling tree program is in conjunction with the green team drop off or curb pickup 1226 through 131.
I
That,
do have a question.
go ahead.
So it was over here, right?
Yes.
We gonna put a sign over there in case people head that way?
Yeah, they're already up.
Right. You got it?
We did, I got one in the back where they
Yeah, so-
usually drop it off, and I put one up front.
Awesome.
And, he had signs where he wants the trees out at the park too.
Okay.
So.
Great.
So we're headed
we'll be
again.
out picking them up anyways, and if they do end up dropping some off, we'll end up taking them out there anyways.
Thanks.
So then obviously that's just a reminder that the drop off has changed to the Poland Township Park, 7400 Moore Road, and there's proper signage letting everybody know. There's no extra containers and extra pickup scheduled for the holidays, so all those Christmas gifts boxes will be up in your.
They're already,
It's already overflowing.
Yeah.
it's amazing.
All right, zoning, please.
Well, it's because you got a million Amazon boxes over there too, right? That's what I saw when I was there. The zoning report for the month of November 2024, we had 2 new structures. The valuation was $446,460. The fees collected were $3,137. We had 13 additions and improvements that valued at $143,247, and the fees collected were $1,112. We had 1 zoning resolution at a fee of $15. 2 zoning appeals collections was $650, no amendments this month, and 25 violations. Our monthly totals for valuations were $589,707. Our total fees collected were $4,914.
Thank you. And then we have an approval here. I know we set aside some money, ARPA earlier. You're saying it's about another $3,500 to accomplish the goal.
Yeah, because it wasn't counting a lot of little things like keyboards, trays, and things that were necessary. And we're getting a new filing cabinet because it's falling apart up there.
Okay.
I mean, I'm talking about the cupboard that you store your supplies in, they're falling apart.
Okay. Any questions on that? I'll make a motion to approve an extra $3,500 for the zoning department, furniture and equipment from Modern Office.
Second?
Roll call, Ms. Strungaro.
Yes.
Mrs. Wallach.
Yes.
Mr. Kempers.
Yes.
I missed
Thank you.
Mr. Colella Walker.
I miss them. I miss them a
It's
lot.
that time of year.
I still reach out to Alice a little bit. I miss him. He's a nice guy. He was a good guy.
Okay. Mr. Monis. Oh, anything else from this magazine?
No,
Nope.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Mr. Monis.
We finished our catch basin on, Koblenz. We, been salting roads and did all of our maintenance to our trucks. Everything's ready for winter. Everything's been running good, knock on wood.
Other than the jet truck, right?
Yeah, we had the county come out and jet a line for us. We're still waiting for parts for our jet truck.
Okay.
and we're still down with that, so.
All right, and I know, you have so bottom line is when there was that tragic accident in Youngstown, there's Class A CDLs, and if somebody's off who has his Class A CDL, historically, guys would still drive it. I'm not saying here, I'm just saying in other places, let's say. But then there was that accident that took place, so then there was a big kind of to do that, hey, listen, you should at least have 2 guys that have a Class A. So we agreed to that, and it was a little strenuous because he was gonna have to go out to Newcastle and take some time off and things like that. But then the county came up with kind of like a plan where they could do some in-house training, but really our only Class A would be Mr. Gooden, correct?
Correct.
Is he willing to do that? Or is that something we have to discuss?
I mean, we talked about it, like he seems
Uh-huh.
interested. But,
Okay.
So this in-house training, like you're saying it's done at the county? Is
No,
that-
it's on job.
Okay,
So we
so-
don't have to
so the
lose.
county they have their own program set up,
Okay,
and they only train their guys.
okay.
So like Darren would have to take a class to be a trainer.
Is that a cost to the township is that a cost?
Probably a little, but way less than what it was gonna
Yeah,
be.
oh, I know.
We just have to, a Class A person would sign up online. And then he would get the classes that they're supposed to do, the driving school that he has to do for our people is all online.
Okay.
So all the curriculum, so all he has to do is sign up and follow the curriculum. And
So pretty much what he would do is get these guys driving hours with the trailer and everything. So instead of going through the classes where I think it's like 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
Yeah,
something
he's
like
gonna
that.
miss a lot of
You have to have
60 hours.
so many hours of driving with thing and backing it up and stuff like that. And so he would do it some hours during the day when, put aside.
So what's the goal? To get how many guys trained?
I probably can get at least 2 more guys trained. Maybe all of them if,
I mean, are you kind of working and training too? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it's
it-
not like
yeah,
us
no,
driving
no.
because you would be driving, like he would count the hours they drove to the job site.
I just, you're not just driving around the circle to get hours. So
No.
you're really working.
Yes, it'd be work hours.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's where the county was getting beat up because the liability's huge.
Right.
They can't drive the trailer, so.
Yeah.
All right, well then, let's just start the discussion with the union and with
Yeah, that's what we
your
would have to do. We have to
clientele,
go through that.
because we're all for it, so. You
That's
just-
what
you just-
we're looking for, if the trustees are gonna be all right with us doing this.
There you go. All right, I'd like to make a motion to approve the repairs to the 2022 Ram 3500, not to exceed two grand.
Second,
Roll call vote, Mr. Ongaro,
Yes.
Mrs. Wallet,
yes.
Mr. Kempers.
Yes.
Approve the repairs of the 2014 International 7000 from Hill International Trucks, not to exceed 13,500.
Second,
Roll call, Mr. Ongaro,
Yes.
Mrs. Wallet,
yes.
Mr. Kempers.
Yes.
Approve the repairs of the 2003 International 7000 from Hill International Trucks, not to exceed 3 grand.
Second,
Roll call, Mr. Ongaro,
Yes.
Mrs. Wallet,
yes.
Mr. Kempers.
Yes.
And this is our vac truck, correct?
Correct.
All right, yeah, we need this. Approve the repairs for the 2013 International 7500 vac truck, not to exceed 11,500.
Second,
Roll call, Mr. Ongaro,
Yes.
Mrs. Wallet,
yes.
Mr. Kempers.
Yes.
Hey, thanks for everything. You guys haven't really got any. But
Yeah.
everything's been pretty smooth on snow removal and salting, so thank you.
Yep, thanks.
And it seems like everybody's working good together.
Yeah, everything's going smooth. Knock on
It's Chief?
So we did the training since the last trustees meeting. We went to the department in 2 sessions, the defensive tactics training. We had Tom Collins from Austintown Police Department come when we went to Mercy Health. I'd like to thank both of those, Mercy Health and Tom, for doing that. It was a really good lesson, and our officers learned a lot. Pogo and Ethan went to the McKinley and met with some students there. The New Life Church had the Winterfest at New Life Church, and Officer Aaron and Officer Monsilovich went there. We bought little bags with some different things in it, ornament, a police ornament, and little coloring book, and some stuff. We put it in there. We passed those out, and then what was left over of that we went to the to Dobbins, and we passed it out to the students there, and then we went to Holy Family and passed it out to kindergarten and first grade there. So got to make a lot of good connections with the students at the schools.
The negative.
So I wanted to discuss the flock. The flock camera is in place. It's in a great location now. On the TV, that's an example of what we see. So that's even at night. So I redacted the license plate because obviously we can't have it out there for the public. But so that's a picture that the flock camera took of a semi driving on the road. It gives you the date, gives you the time, and if you want to scroll up a little bit, gives you the license information. So that black box is the license plate, gives you the make, the model, date, time. So we're able to use that and contact the companies and do an investigation from there on who was driving. If we're able to find out who was driving, we can issue a citation to them. We're also using this, some of our officers are using this on day term, live time. And what I want to do is I want to get our IT department to look at our laptops, because our laptops, they all should have telephone numbers assigned to them. And what I want is so on my phone and some other officers' phones, once they see that semi, we're able to set it up that whenever they see a semi truck, what the camera identifies as a semi, they're able to send us an alert via text, and then that we would get that picture on our phone with that license plate. Officer Jackson, one of our new officers, he's taken a real interest in the semi trucks. He has it on his phone. As soon as he gets an alert, he heads up to Stymie Road, and he's given multiple tickets to these trucks using a flock camera in real time. So we're able to use it for two different reasons: in real time, but then we're also able to use it, right now we're at every month. So at the end of every month, what we do is we go through, we get that picture, and then we follow up with the companies, again, to try to identify who the driver is. So that's where we're at right now with the flock camera. Again, it's in a great location and it's working perfectly. So thank you. Next, discuss the progress of the new canine. We have identified a canine who is in Bethlehem, PA right now. That's Canine Ron. He was set to be put to sleep in Wisconsin. It was overcrowding, and he was a stray dog that was just on the streets. They took him into the shelter, and they gave him a number. When you get a number as a canine, whenever your number hits, they're gonna, that's it for you.
Is that a Rottweiler?
No, that's a pit bull.
Ron means business.
Yeah, he's 100%. He's 100% pit. And so there was a rescue company that came and took Ron from the pound before he was put to sleep, and they gave him to Canine Protectors. Canine Protectors have been working with Ron. We have a ton of videos of him working and training, and to our handlers and our trainers that we have here, they are so impressed with this dog. They say that, so actually Detective Sergeant Jackson and Patrolman Wolf they just arrived in Bethel, PA probably about an hour ago, and they're going to work with Canine Ron tonight and tomorrow, and hopefully if everything works out okay, they'll be bringing him home.
He looks like he wants a job.
and actually that dog's the sweetest dog in the world too. Like I said, we have videos. Tail's always wagging. Kids, we have video of him with kids. He's a great dog, and hopefully again our assessment of him will be the same as what they have, and we'll bring him home. And again, I'd like to thank Mike Simon. He gave us a $5,000 donation that we're able to get the equipment for the car that we already had, so we don't need to buy another cruiser for the canine program. We don't need to buy the equipment. Mike Simon is also paying all of his vet bills, And we had a food company that was going to purchase the food, but Canine Ron unfortunately was on a special diet because of allergies, and I think it would come to like $600 a year. I'll pay the $600, whatever.
Yeah.
But you know, it'd be good for him. So
Just
to
gotta get
get a
along
job.
with Pogo.
Yeah.
Get the kids gotta get along.
Well, and the funny thing is, you look at Canine Ron and you would think that he would be the problem, but Pogo does have a little bit of an attitude when it comes to other dogs. So it might not be Canine Ron, it might be Pogo that has the problem. So that's where we're at with the canine, the Racino. You know, I know it always seems like we come in here and we're always asking for things and, you know, trying to spend money. And I know just some things that we're trying to do. We partnered with the Racino, and they have a donation box there. So essentially, you get a voucher when you go there. You could put $100, $1,000, $5,000 on it, and then you go and you gamble. And then if you know at the end of the night, you have $5 on there, $10, $200, and you don't feel like going and cashing it out, you walk by and you could put your voucher in there. And then I think this is going to go on for 3 months. And at the end of the 3 months, they're going to calculate all the vouchers and however much money is on the vouchers. They're going to go ahead and donate that to the police department to use for computer equipment that we need for inside of our vehicles. I gave them a quote already of the tablets, the keyboards, all of the mounting equipment, and I think it was roughly $8,000. So they said even if the vouchers don't come up to $8,000, then the Racino themselves would probably give enough of a matching so we could go ahead and get those free of charge for the community. So it's a great partnership, and hopefully we're able to do this again and bring in a little bit of money. The other thing is our training. I know every single month I come in here and I explain all the training that we've done. And, we have 17 full-time police officers and 13 part-time officers on an average. And this is just an average, and I'm not even including the patrolman Argeris and patrolman Monsilovich, who train in their specialty areas. But we last year approximately 60 hours per officer. 20 officers, they used a yearly subscription to Police Academy 1, which is $1,303.95. One officer received basic SWAT training for $650. 3 officers, they attended critical incident leadership, $300 a piece, which totaled $900. And 11 officers went to tactically confident, legally confident, which because we partnered with Beaver and Boardman, it only cost us $500 to send 11 officers to that. So the total cost was roughly $3,353.95. The state 2 years ago came out where they're paying police departments up to 40 hours each officer. So roughly next year we'll be getting a check for $23,373.83. And after you take what we paid in training this year, the total revenue would be roughly $20,000. So again, we only have to do 24 CPTs. That's what's mandated by the state. But I have our officer, the state will pay up to 40 hours. So we have our officers do the additional training hours, not only because it's better for the community, better for our officers, better for our department, but as you can see, we're going to be getting $20,000 that could help us pay for some of the things, that we come in here and ask for. So that's a really great thing.
Thank you. All right, I know we got the Ford Explorer, correct? And we talked to PJ, so I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of the 2025 Ford Explorer and Scepter from Jim Shorkey dealership in the amount not to exceed $47,500.
Second,
Roll call, Mr. Ongaro,
Yes.
Mrs. Wallet,
yes.
Mr. Campers.
Yes. When will you get that?
As soon as PJ gives me the check.
Like, it's available?
Yep.
Right now?
Come a long way since COVID. Couldn't even get a car.
Yeah.
Approve the vehicle equipment and installation for the 2025 explore not to exceed $18,000.
Second?
Roll call, Mr. Ungaro,
Yes.
Ms. Wallet,
Yes.
and Mr. Kempers.
Yes.
I know we had a retirement, and so you got a good part-timer that you think is just kind of ready to roll right to the full-time status?
Yeah, Ramsey's a very good officer. He was with Akron Children's for a while. He's at Beaver right now. He's gone through their training program. He's in our training program, and I think he'll be a great fit. And we've talked a lot, and crime is increasing in every community. We're not special. Our stats are up. Our detective sergeant, sometimes he gets overwhelmed with cases. So I'd like to get him a little bit of help as well. We have 3 officers that are in the schools. So 17 officers, 17 full-time officers is a great number for us. Then we don't have to rely on our part-timers. We don't have to go out there looking for part-timers, because essentially part-time police officers are police officers that have jobs at other places, full-time jobs. So a lot of times you get with part-time officers, you get them calling off because they have to work overtime because they're mandated at their other jobs, which then increases our overtime budget. And I notice whenever we're at full staff, which I consider the 17, our overtime is nothing. It's a sick day here or there, somebody's forced to come out, or there's a special project that we need to do. So we are saving a ton of money on overtime. Our officers are not getting forced out. They're able to come here, do their job. They're more refreshed when they come here and they do a better job. So, again, 17 is, to me, 16 is doable. 17 is just that perfect number that I think we need to keep our community safe.
So really, our next retirement, we would have to analyze this to just see, are you good with 16 opposed to, somebody wouldn't have
And
to.
then he is a Poland resident too, which is nice.
He is, yes.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to approve Officer Ramsey Begary, is that right?
Yes, sir.
From part-time to full-time, and there's no backgrounds, everything, you got all that taken care of, so that would be effective January 13th. Does that date work with payroll?
Yes, sir.
There you go, got a motion.
Oh, second, that'll be 2025, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
2025.
Roll call, Mr. Ungaro,
Yes.
Mrs. Wallet,
Yes.
Mr. Kempers.
Yes.
No executive session, anything, Mrs. Wallet?
No, just Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everyone.
Mr. Kempers?
Merry Christmas.
Mr. Cantor, anything?
No, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Covell?
Same thing. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yep, and that, just everybody have good health this coming year. And at this time, make a motion to adjourn at, is that 6:36?
Second?
Roll call, Mr. Ungaro,
Yes.
Mrs. Wallet,
Yes.
and Mr. Kempers.
Yes.